All right. Thank you, everybody, for joining me for Wing Chun. The plan this week was to have somebody in my household who was able to assist me, and then some schedules got moved around. So this week, again, I'm by myself, and I will be by myself for Jeet Kune Do as well. But I figure it's not the worst thing in the world, because this way, for 2 weeks in a row, we're generating some content that you can work on by yourself if you don't have a partner in your household with you. Okay? But there will be something for everybody of every level, so don't worry about it. So we always do the same salutation for all my classes, regardless of which art we're studying. We honor our sources from all over the world, no matter what. So right hand makes a fist, left hand goes over it. This is abbreviated Chinese. Right hand fist up to your third eye, left hand over your heart. This is Filipino. Tai is the super easy one, is right here. From this position called the Y, your left hand makes a table for your right hand. This is abbreviated Indonesian. Drop your left hand, make a fist with your right hand, tap your chest, go palm down on your right side for French Savate and Dog Brothers martial arts. And then Japanese, we just give a little bow like that, all right? I'm gonna repeat very briefly the light warm-up that we did earlier, because we are gonna be punching in the air, and we are gonna be moving a little bit, and I don't want anybody working cold, even though this is gonna be, primarily you're gonna be working in the air during the next 40 minutes. So everybody just big arm circles to the front. Change directions. This light warm-up will only take a few minutes, and this way I'm keeping you safe, okay? Palms out, medium-sized circles to the front. Change directions. Good. And then palms down, small circles to the front. Change directions. You might have a little bit of burn in your shoulders. Maybe it depends on your relative level. And then I just call these alternating hugs. You're just switching which arm is on top to take all that tension out of your shoulders. Get a few more of those. Beautiful. Okay, everybody looks really good. Even though we're punching the air again, I just want everybody light warm up. Take your left hand, put it on top of your right hand, press down. Palm up, and with the right hand, palm down left fingers and stretch it out here. Switch hands, put your right on top of your left and push it down. And then palm up left hand, let's stretch it out this way. Good, then just shake your hands out, get all that tension out of your hands, and then we're ready to get to work here. Okay, so I'm recording this on and doing this class on my laptop here, so I'm gonna change the angle. I want you to pay attention to my feet, and I want you as closely as possible to try to mimic what I'm doing. Feet together, and let's just pay attention to our lower body right now before we involve the upper body. Everybody squat down just slightly. Open your toes and open your heels. And your toes should be pointed in slightly at an angle. We want to sit out by just pushing our hips forward slightly. Good, okay? Everybody come back, or just relax the body, shake it out for a second, okay? So we're getting to our mother stance here, and we're gonna spend a lot of time in our mother stance, kind of building some structure in today's class. So once again, we squat down just slightly. Don't worry about your hands right now, just don't worry about them. I see some people folding their arms, some people Like, just don't put any of your focus on your hands right now. Slight squat down, open your toes, and open your heels. Toes pointed in slightly. Once you get there, sink a little bit by pushing your hips forward just slightly. Okay, relax it again. And now this time, I'm just going to say go. When I say go, just get yourself in that position. Everybody ready? Go. Nice. Okay. So now that we kind of have that transition to our mother stance down, let's start examining some structure on the upper body. Okay. Again, everybody, if you haven't joined me on one of these classes before, this is a working household. I live in an 800 square foot apartment in New York City, which is huge by New York City standards, with 4 people, my 2 kids and my wife. So pardon me for this. Katana, close your door, please. Thank you. All right, sorry about that. So my son might come out at various points. This is a working household, even though I'm offering these classes. So, bear with me, everybody. All right, can everybody get in that posture? Get in the mother stance with what I just showed you. And can you bring your hands up at the ready? The only thing I really want you to think of is just fingers kind of up straight. Can everybody fire a right chung choi? So that's a vertical fist. And then switch. And work on this fist over fist motion. All right. And again, I don't necessarily know the level. I mean, I know the level of my long-term students who are on here. Some people I'm meeting for the first time. This might be super easy, super boring for you, but I got to kind of build and make sure that we have these skills. So once again, making sure we're in that stance. We're just working on, there's a lot of different names for this, even kind of within the same lineage, working on our Jik Chun Choi or our battle punches or our straight blast. Now, I am trying to hit the same point in space, going right down my center line when I do this. Okay, Wing Chun is all about center line domination, and so much of what we're going to do this class, the weeks to come, even when I have somebody available to me as a demo partner, it's all gonna be about dominating center line. All right, and I mean, most of you probably know this. My center line is the imaginary vertical line that bisects me. This holding up this soft stick would be a representation of my center line. So as everybody's playing with that, it's a really, like, a good analogy is the game of poker. Okay, poker, you can learn the rules in one day and get an understanding of how to play, but the intricacies are going to take you quite some time. Well, I would say that Wing Chun is the same. On the surface, it all looks really simple and maybe even boring, and I mean, I'm comfortable with that wordage, but the deeper we go, the more we understand just how complex it is when we get into the nuances, okay? So now what I'd like you to play with, so routinely I'm gonna have you kind of fix your posture, because Wing Chun is all about developing structure. So let me say this super quick. My Wing Chun instructor, this is a man named Sifu Francis Fong. He's out of Johns Creek, Georgia, which is a suburb of Atlanta, about 25 miles north-ish of Atlanta proper. And I'm a Black Sash Full Instructor under him. I was already training Wing Chun, Jun Fan style trapping with some amazing people. before I started with Sifu. I don't want to come off like a fanboy. Sifu is scary, okay? And if you ever get the chance, like when things get going again, if anybody can get the chance to train with him in seminar or at his school, I highly recommend it. He's amazing. Now, why am I saying this to you? Wing Chun is one of those arts, let me just put a name to it, kind of like Aikido, that gets beat up on the internet. Like, it's not functional, it'll never work, blah, 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 blah. You know, I'm a full dog brother. If you guys don't know what dog brother is, martial arts, it's like the most extreme stick fighting sort of methodology out there. I have 50 fights with the dog brothers. Wing Chun has added a ton to my fight game, structure-wise, reflex-wise, understanding center line. It gives you amazing skill sets, okay? It is a traditional martial art, though. So we're going to approach it traditionally. That means we got, especially right now, when I don't have a partner to demo on, this is going to be all about structure. So routinely today and throughout future classes, I'm going to have you refresh your mother stance. So what I mean by that is, like, let's say that we had just finished up some drilling. If I say refresh your mother stance, well, come up, shake your feet out a little bit, and then reset that mother stance so that you have that, all right? And people love to look at that and say, well, that's so stupid, you're gonna get kicked in the groin, and I absolutely agree. We're not gonna fight in that position. It's the Wing Chun equivalent of a horse stance. We're building certain attributes, we're building certain muscles up in our legs. We're not gonna get in a fight and use that posture. It's training posture only, but we do have to work it. Okay, so everybody get in your posture. And what I want you to do is throw 1, 2, 3 punches, open your hands. Slight pause, 1, 2, 3, open. 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 And just keep going at your own pace. Make sure that you have that. I'm just kind of looking at everybody's structure, everybody's video feed. Okay. Let's see. And I have some questions. Okay, Martin, how much tucked in should the elbows be? With what part of the fist are we hitting? So, great questions. As far as your elbows, well, you would have to expend energy to do this. And in doing that, you would make yourself vulnerable to rib shots. So, as far as your focus, just stay relaxed. Yeah, and keep your elbows down. That looks really nice, okay? Now, your other hand, I see some other people. You can play with touching. Sometimes we call it taking your pulse, or you can be on your forearm, or if you don't want contact and you just want your hands up, that's fine. Can't really see that. That's fine as well. Okay, 1, 2, 3, open. And I know, let me move that so you can see it. Okay, 1, 2, 3. Okay, now the other, so everybody refresh your posture for a second, right? And then reset it when you're ready. Now, don't worry about opening your hands, but give me 1, 2, 3, pause. 1, 2, 3, pause. 2, 3. Give me a burst of 3. And then give me a slight pause. And you're thinking, Martin, predominantly with the first, between the first and the second knuckle is going to be the striking point. But for right now, just, I mean, if I'm looking at you and I'm seeing like your chest if I'm just imagining hitting your sternum right on center line with whatever part of my fist is available, that's to start, that's just fine. Okay, so everybody work on verse of 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 3. Let me see that. Fist over fist. Nice. Good. And as much as possible, stay relaxed. That question, Martin, about how tucked in should the elbows be, that's a great question because that brings up other concerns. Relax your shoulders. If we don't want to be here, because then I'm expending energy to have my shoulders and it's not getting me anywhere and it's destroying my structure, versus just being relaxed, elbows in, shoulders down, and I'm just focused on whatever my target is, just destroying it with my structure. Let me see a few more reps. Everybody looks pretty sharp. What is crazy important is fist over fist, striking the same point, which is center line domination. Not this. This is not it, because I'm not even on my center line. Not this. Over. Okay, like a bicycle chain. I don't have a better visual right now, right? Like you think about when you're pedaling a bicycle and that chain is in line in the bike by the pedals, right? That's really what we're looking for right now. And we're doing way more beats. I mean, you wouldn't stand there all day long doing that. Like in most applications, we're not going beyond, maybe 3 beats, but even sometimes that we're really scoring with the first 1 or 2. Okay, so here's what I want now. All right. So everybody refresh your posture, and everybody come back to the ready position with your right hand. This is my right hand in the lead, okay? Now, let's go left, right, left. Open your hands. Pivot slightly to your left. Right, left, right. Open. Go back to center. Left, right, left. Open. Go to your right. Right, left, right. Open. Center. 1, 2, 3. Open. Left. 1, 2, 3. Open. Center. 1, 2, 3. Open to your right. 1, 2, 3. Center. 1, 2, 3. Left. 1, 2, 3. Open. Center. To your right. Center. Left. Center. Right. Center. Left. Center. And so on. Okay, so good. Let me see. Keep that up. You only have 3 positions. Oh, everybody looks really sharp. You have center, you have to your right, and you have to your left. Yeah. I'm just looking at everybody's feed. Everybody looks nice and sharp. That's it. Good. Good. Time. Relax the body for a second. Nice job. Okay, so I'm giving you a bunch of tools that you can explore right now by yourself, because that's kind of the necessity today. In my household, I don't have somebody available to me. Everybody's on Zoom meetings or taking other classes or stuff like this. So during this week, you know, hopefully you'll come back next week. A couple things to practice is making sure you know how to properly get into the mother stance, playing with super clean Jik-Chun Choi or battle punches or straight blast from this position, okay? Now I see some of you already, maybe it's prior training or maybe it's enthusiasm, and I'm not, it's okay. Some of you are really going for, it. And right now, let's dial that back a little bit. And again, it might be a little boring. I mean, I'm comfortable with that terminology. Get the structure as close to perfect as possible. And I mean, something about me as a martial artist and an educator, I don't really believe in perfection, but get it as close to perfect as possible. Right now, what you really want to avoid is pivoting your body. Okay? We're not pivoting the body right now. The body stays full front. I'm not, and if you have prior training in any kind of punching, this can be really agonizing because, I mean, you know, to generate power, you have, it's all about your body and your rotation. Here, we're trying to kind of dial that back and we're trying to refine a structure. And I'll share this with you real quickly. My house is a little bit in shambles, but like if I had a partner, say this is a linen cabinet here in my house. One way that I might train this material is I might take, it's a little hard to see because I might take a stick and my partner and I would stand full front towards each other and we would hold the weight of the stick up by pressing and not rotating. Because the moment we rotate, that stick is going to drop. And in the very beginning, we want the focus to be on perfect, a little less than ideal on this linen cabinet, bear with me, on perfect battle punches. Again, bicycle chain, you know, in the pedals, fist over fist on the same line. That's what we're really looking for, okay? So if you have prior training and you know how to really rotate and move your body into your strikes, like, don't worry, that's going to pay off later. This part of the training, we're kind of going through the traditional route and we're pulling that back a little bit because then this structural development is really going to make you appreciate it when you are able to rotate again in sparring or combat. Okay, so just, it might seem a little anticlimactic, but that's what you really want to be working on. And then the other drill, so settle into your stance, one direction, 1, 2, 3, open, center, 2, 3, to my right. Work on that. Really just get almost, I mean, like target practice. I'm redefining the line and I'm blasting right down on it. Now I've defined the line to my center. Now I've defined the line slightly to my left. And I just want to, for lack of a better term, like destroy on that line. That's what I really want to do. Okay, so working on the posture, working on perfect fist over fist Jik-Chun Choi or battle punches or your straight blast, then working on the rotation. Now, let's go into Silam Tao. Let's go into the first form. And before we do that, let me just share this with you. About halfway through my 50 fights in Dog Brothers, and again, if you don't know Dog Brothers, everybody, not to tell war stories like this, these are the sticks that I fight with in Dog Brothers. We wear minimal protective equipment, not to be macho, but to test the art in the most realistic way possible. Like, I don't really like the description. It's MMA with live sticks because it's not a competition. We don't keep a fight record, but it's a laboratory environment. But anyways, after I had so many fights and I was a full Dog Brother, somebody asked me, how do you keep doing this? How do you find longevity within this? And I asked the guy, I think I was in my early 30s. I think the guy who asked me was in like his mid 20s. And I said, well, do you have anything in your practice of martial arts that is not super hardcore, kill 'em, rock 'em, bop 'em, sop 'em type martial arts? And he sort of like hesitantly looked at the ground, and then he said Tai Chi. And I was like, why are you looking at the ground, man? Like, you're here doing hardcore stick fighting. Like, why are you embarrassed about having something in your practice that is softer? It doesn't take away from your Thai boxing. It doesn't take away from your submission grappling. It doesn't make you any less of a martial artist. My answer was, well, I'm a Wing Chun practitioner. And after I do a Dog Brothers gathering and my body is all banged up, I lean in metaphorically really hard to my forms training and my Wing Chun for a few weeks until my body kind of heals up and resets itself. So, I mean, everybody who's watching this, I want to get off my soapbox and do Silam Tao with you. Here's my deal, everybody. My primary guiding influence in the martial arts is Guru Dan Inosanto, okay? And if you don't know who Guru Dan is, Google him. You should know who he is. He is now in his early 80s, and he's a machine. He shows no signs. He takes as many classes as a student, unbelievably, as he teaches classes and seminars and workshops. I want to be like him. I want to be doing this my entire life. I want this to be a lifestyle, and I want to do this until the day that I die. Therefore, everybody, you need different arts for different eras and different days. Some days you need hardcore Thai boxing, Dog Brothers, kicking, working out as hard as you can. Some days you need your Wing Chun and soft Wing Chun and working on the forms and like your restorative martial arts. And your practice has to change as you move through your life. I'm 41 right now. I'm actually very happy to say, like, I'm living my early 40s a lot healthier because I'm practicing some self-care now that I wasn't practicing in my 30s. Like, I feel pretty darn good. Can I improve that? Absolutely. But my practice looks different than when I was 25. Because if I try to keep doing stuff like when I was 25, well, I'm going to break myself. And that's not the right way to go. And I can still go hardcore every now and then. I just got back when we were able to travel. I was in the Philippines in February for Pakiti Tercia, and we were doing kind of Dog Brothers light stick fighting with live sticks. So I can still go hard when necessary, but everybody, you gotta have multi-facets to your practice. All right, anyways, I'm getting off my soapbox. Let's do Silam Tao, okay? So I'm going, pardon me, I gotta Velcro these mats together. I keep forgetting to do that. Okay, so hands down. Now we're gonna kind of unify the upper body with that mother stance, because there is no footwork in Silam Tao. All right, it's all about developing structure. We'll see how much of the form, there are 3 sessions. We'll see how much of the form we get through. So everybody, hands rise up. Make fists, bring them in. And this part is a little bit tricky. I am not touching my ribs with my hands. I have a little bit of space. If you have your wrists or the inside of your arms glued to your ribs, you're structurally making yourself weaker. You just don't know it yet. You have to trust me. So leave a little bit of space. Bend a little bit, open your toes, open your heels. Okay? Cross your left hand over your right hand. Fingers straight. The only real tension is in your thumbs. Bring your hands up so your right hand is in front of your left hand, and return to that posture. Move your left hand to your center line, but your knuckles must be pointed down towards the floor to start. Then this turns into a chung choi. Okay. Tan sao, so that means showing hand, so palm up. Again, the only tension is in your thumb. Hun sao, circle, make a fist, and bring this back. As it comes in, your right hand gets in position to repeat that same motion. Knuckles towards the floor initially, chung choi. Tan sao, hun sao, sao kun, bring it back. Okay, now we're ready. That's the opening, and I'm going to go over that with you a couple more times. That's the opening to Silam Tao. That's also going to be the opening, pardon me, to Chum Kyu, the second form, then Biu Ji, which is the third empty-handed form, but you learn that at the end of the system is going to have a slightly different opening. But this opening right now, super important. So everybody, feet together, legs straight, hands at your side, nice and relaxed, arms up, bring it in, bend down, mother stance. Left hand on top, right hand in front, bring it back. Left hand to center line, knuckles pointed down. Chung choi, tan sao, hun sao, sao kun. Right hand moves into position as the left hand comes back. You're going to see that throughout the form. As one hand comes back, the other hand moves into position. Same thing, same sequence. Okay. As this comes in, left tan sao comes out. Okay. Just do your very best to follow me. Hun sao to wu sao. Wu sao is guarding hand. Stay where you're at. I'll give you another vantage point on this. Okay. I'm not trying to sell you on chi or ki or new agey. I just have a visualization for you, okay? I want you to drop this into fuksao, and I want you to imagine that your navel is pulling your hand in. Okay, so let's go back. We just did the opening. Left tan sao comes in. Circle to wu sao. I'm sorry, keep this out. And then once this gets about this far away, we're going to drop it into fuksao. We're going to push that back out. We're going to do 3 of those. 2, 3. Okay. From here, paksao, jikjern, turn it, and finish like before. Let's repeat that with our right hand. 1, 2, 3. Pak to the side, straight, palm strike with your fingers up, circle this, and bring it back, okay? That is session 1. I'll repeat that again. I'll give you some nuances. I'm trying to kind of meet everybody's needs, introduce you to it, and have you run through it with me in real time. The most important part is the visualization. And I don't, again, I'm not trying to sell you on believing in new agey, you know, chi or ki or anything like that. When we're here, I just want you to imagine that your navel is sending out energy that is moving your hand. That's the only visualization that I'm asking you to do. I'm not asking you to believe in chi or magic or anything supernatural. I'm giving you that visualization that, again, here's my navel, that when I'm doing session 1, it's my navel. Now it's pushing and pulling. And that's the only visualization that I want you doing. All right. And that's just during session 1. The main idea of session 1 is channeling your internal energy. So for my empiricists out there, my math and science people, and you hate the word chi and you don't want to even use that, think about it like this. When you do Selim Tao and you do session 1, you are getting, over the years, thousands of reps of visualizing your center line. And if you get nothing more than that out of the first session of Selim Tao, just that visualization, defining your center line, that kind of kinesthetic awareness of having everything happen on center line, is a benefit of doing this. All right, let's do everything together again, okay? So feet together, hands at your side, hands rise up, they come in, don't touch your ribs, bend down, toes open, heels open. Left hand on top, bring it up, bring it in, left hand center line, knuckles down, chung choi, tan sao, hun sao, sao kun. Right hand sets up, knuckles down, execute. Then as this, see what I'm doing? As this comes in, my left tan sao is going out. 1 hun sao, fuk sao, back. 2, 3, pak, jik jern, and then this circles and it's done. As it comes in, my right hand comes out. And I'm going to repeat that. 1, 2, 3. Sorry, everybody. My kids are coordinating some virtual rehearsals. Okay, very nice. Session 2. Let's at least get session 2 done before I have to go into the JKD, because I like to try to stick to the timelines that I've given you. Okay, so session 1 is all about channeling your internal energy. Session 2 is escape from grabs. So we just did right hand pak sao, right hand jik jern, right hand tan, and right hand sao kun. Okay, so everybody follow me. Session 2, left hand at your side, right hand. Okay, your hands come up. The backs of both hands are touching your lower back, actually touching. And then push down. Okay, good. So let's do that. Now that you know the movement, let's mix everything together. Left hand, right hand, both hands in front of you. Okay, Lan Sao, left hand on top. Left hand on top. Sut Sao, we're coming back to Lan Sao, but this time with our right hand on top. Here. Fingertips even with your elbows. Drop into this. Nice. Double palm up. Push down with the heels of your hands. Into the eyes. Push down lower with the heels of your hands. Hands come up. And they go back. Okay? So that's it. That's session 2. 1, 2, both hands 3, both hands 4, left hand on top 5, 6, right hand on top 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and back. 13 motions. 1, left hand first. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and back. Okay? So sorry, everybody. 1 second. I'm so sorry. Tana, a little quieter, please. The door's dead. Sorry, everybody. Sorry, everybody. Like I said, working household. Okay, let's do everything. And then we're going to be out of time for Wing Chun. Feet together. Hands rise up. Don't touch your ribs. Bend your knees a little bit. Toes, heels. Left on top. Right in front. Bring it back. Still not touching our ribs. Left hand sets up, knuckles down. Execute, Tan, Hoon, Sao Kun. Right hand gets ready as we do it. Right hand executes. Left Tan comes out. 1 Hoon Sao. We do 3 or 4 of these. I usually count the Fuk Saos. If your mind drifts and you do 4, like that time I did 4, it's not a problem. Formally, that's actually done way slower than I'm doing it. Session 1 only. But for right now, it is what it is. Pak, Jikjern. Session 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, and done. All right, very nice job, everybody. I want to try to stick to, let's see, where do we hit? So Martin, your questions just before we run out of time here. Do we turn the feet when we rotate? I assume you're talking about that. Yeah, no, just, well, I mean, just pivot. Here, let me, okay, so center, 1, 2, 3, right, 1, 2, 3, center, 1, 2, 3, left, 1, 2, 3, center, right, center, left, center, right. Whatever I'm doing there, do that. Okay? And then where do we hit with the palm strike? Center line or in front? Center line. Center line. Yeah, all of those motion, that's great questions. Keep them coming. Everybody, okay? Everything is your center. Everything is your center. Okay, I mean, obviously, Pak Sao, obviously I'm going off center, but I'm returning to it. All of this is center, every single bit, okay? Session 1. Session 2, I mean, these motions, that doesn't really apply, but what is super important is you're not rotating. Like I was saying earlier, this is about kind of whittling down a traditional structure, being able to do all of this full front without rotation, and then later when we add in the option of a lead and pivoting, it's your level of awareness, just center line awareness, is going to add something really special to your modified trapping, to your Western boxing, and so on. Okay, so I'm a couple minutes over. I like to try to stick to time frame. So I'm going to bow the Wing Chun class out, everybody, and then talk to you for a moment before we start the JKD. So Chinese, Filipino, Thai, Indonesian. Remember, the left hand makes the table for the right hand for this one. Left hand drops. French and Dog Brothers. Japanese. Thanks for joining me on this. Really nice. Again, this will get uploaded, everybody, to my YouTube channel. At a bare minimum, please at least subscribe to the YouTube channel so you can study this, you know, in between the class sessions. Okay, ending the recording now. Thanks, everybody, for joining me for Wing Chun.